On this endeavor, I spent the day out practicing woodsmanship, going through a survival school, and it was a great refresher and exactly what I needed.
In my mind, a masculine experience, you're coming to do quote-unquote manly things, use your hands, get dirty, at some point eat bugs if you want to, not today. I want to know, like, hey, this sucks, but I loved it, or this sucks and it sucked. Not everything you do today is going to be really hard, nor is all of it going to be really easy. You'll be uncomfortable. I think most men appreciate a little bit of struggle. Like, easy life breeds, I don't know, laziness and just nothing good. A little bit of struggle, overcoming boundaries and obstacles, it's just good for the soul, especially for men.
It's already farther than I've walked in 2 years.
We're going to be doing fire today. Using natural tinder is key. There's a tree out here that's very reliable to make tinder. This comes from tulip poplar, which is not a poplar, because it's tulip dash poplar. It's actually magnolia. The easy way to identify it is the bark peels like this. One big long strand. So this is about the condition we want. Like, we can play with it before it falls apart. Some of it you just bend and it falls apart. We don't want that. We have the cambium layer, inside layer, outside. We don't want the outside. No outsiders. If I bend this and give it a little push, that outside layer just kind of comes off on its own. I'm a big fan of the ferro rod, because the ferro rod, you can throw it in the water for 6 months, take it out, throw a spark, it's good to go. Lighter, different story. All right, so once you have all this, nice and fibrous, just gonna separate it a little bit. I'm gonna do this hasty. I'm just gonna ball it up into a ball, and then I'm gonna try to mash this. Pinch, press. What I'm trying to do is break up any large pieces. I want fibers. The way we want to use our ferro rod, the ferro rod stays still. It's wrong. The knife stays still. The knife is your anchor hand. Intuition says I want to throw sparks, so we do this. I want you to imagine you're cold, wet, tired, miserable, and you spent 30 minutes doing this, and it's like dust. Some tinders you just shave wood until you get a pile of, literally a pile of dust. And intuition says, do this, and you're like, okay, here I go. And you gotta start all over. What we want to do instead, so hold my knife hand like I'm gonna stab myself in the face. Anchor on my hand, on my foot. I'm gonna give this a really aggressive yank and get my fire started.
Nice.
That never happens that fast. So TP fire. It's my favorite fire ever. My entire life up until about 6 months ago, thought it was stupid. So the TP fire is a pre-built structure that you build as soon as you establish your site. And I tried it this past season hunting, 17 degrees. I was living in the woods, it's brutal. Long day hunting, I come home, it's already there. Still a spark, you're like, oh thank God. And then it self-feeds. This is the part that gets overlooked the most, building your frame. Just like building a house, you need your studs. 2 of these, 3, they don't need to be super long. And I'm not digging them in super deep because I'm gonna lift these up here in a minute. Get your whole finger wet, whichever side feels cold to where the wind's coming from, which is behind me.
Your finger.
Steve, if you'd like to show us how to wet his finger, that'd be fantastic.
Because my tinder's gonna go in here, I got an opening, and if the wind's coming from behind me, I want the wind to throw the flames into my structure. Then I get my pile, I'm just gonna cover this whole thing up like so, with my littles, then my middles. Then I'll get my tinder. It's hard to have too much tinder. And now I know I can sit down comfortably in a nice shelter.
From here, we transitioned into climbing up a couple 100 feet of elevation, you know, and it doesn't matter how in shape you are or you think you are. This will burn you out, and you just struggle regardless if it's a couple 100 feet of trail, or for us, we went straight up. But ultimately, when we transitioned to a team event with tug of war at the end, and then finally push-ups and sit-ups inside the creek.
Bear crawl.
Yeah, I'll bear crawl back.
Let's go.
So you're doing a high crawl. Get up there so he touches your foot. Touch his foot. Go. Go.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Hey, breathe, breathe, breathe. 3, pull. 1, 2, 3, pull. 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 1. 2, 3, pull.